some feminists on one of your 1-minute podcast interviews.
You were showing me love?
I was agreeing with you. I was literally going against the person that you were talking about and saying why you were making sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Right now, at this point, it's very profitable to say, like, well, I told you so, Sneako. You should have listened to me. I know better. And Fresh and Fit's bad.
Okay. Yes, I did tell you so, Sneako.
I mean, everyone, JiDion said that, Destiny said that, Andrew Tate said that, Bradley Martin said that. Everybody was aware that the way I'm talking is going to get me canceled, but you were incorrect about a lot of the information that you talked about. It wasn't that clip from me simulating or telling the feminist that she needs to get laid more. It was just an accumulation of a lot of misinformation and other man.
Real quick on my opinion on that. The reason why I think it was that clip, and I understand that you might get banned for a particularly different thing, but when I'm trying to figure out why somebody got banned, I feel like the public makes the mistake in that they look at, like, what did you violate in the TOS and what was the ban reason? But I think the most important thing is what catches people's attention. Because once people have, like, your attention, like, now you're going to get banned for some shit. So, like, on Twitch, for instance, I probably got banned for some random transphobic thing or whatever, I guess. I don't know what they just said hate speech. But the reason I got banned was for fighting with Keffels. Because if I wouldn't have had that fight with Keffels, I wouldn't have had all the people mass reporting me and their eyes on me, et cetera, et cetera. But it was because of that fight that I got banned. So, like, I feel like when you made that video, you remember that one curly-haired kid that made the, like, we need to ban Sneako for abusing women, blah, blah, blah. I think, just from what I've seen, I could be wrong, but that seemed like the thing that got a lot of people, like, super riled up on Twitter and YouTube and shit, trying to, like, call for people to ban you and shit. So, I'm curious if that was, like, the thing that led everybody mass reporting and shit. But I could be wrong, but...
I mean, just to let the stream know, I am collaborating on a new channel ran by my editor. I'm frequently on there live streaming. He has me as a guest, so you can go find there. That's a way that I'm going to be able to stay on YouTube. Just collaborating as a guest on new platforms. That's where you can find me. There's a new channel that's doing pretty well right now, so go subscribe to there if you missed the old content.
What's the name of the new channel?
It's just called Sneako.
Okay.
Type Soldier of God, it pops up.
It does?
Yeah, I typed it in, it popped up.
Oh, okay.
But I guess it has to, like, register.
Yeah, it's pretty shadow banned right now. It's hard to find, but yeah, you can. I bet you could do some research.
All right, well, you and Abba, you're here. This is it, the big showdown.
I don't know. Obviously, has a lot of 30-minute videos. I just was curious if you still had stuff to say while we're in the call.
No, I said everything I had to say. I mean, it's just a repetition of what I told you.
I didn't really watch the video. I saw the beginning of it. I'm like, okay, he's doing the thing that a lot of people are doing right now. I get it.
Cool. Well, if you didn't watch it, then we good. We have nothing to talk about, I suppose.
Or maybe you could have told me instead of making another hit piece video, like, well, everyone's against me right now, while Big Tech's against me, all these soy boys, you could have sent a text or a call before making all these videos.
Hold up. So I texted you before I talked about the DJ academic stuff, and I texted you before. You remember I texted you, and I barely talked about you in that video. 1, 2. I didn't even make this video until you called me and you said, yo, how come you talk about this but not my deplatforming? I said, oh, well, if you want me to talk about the deplatforming, then I will. I already make the video before that. You told me to talk about it, and now that I've talked about it, you're like, well, why did you make a video about it?
I didn't tell you to talk about it. I said that on a commentary channel where you frequently talk about drama and that people you know in the community, that may be talking about how this is a problem that everybody can get wiped from all these platforms. And then also single out something that makes me look bad and makes it look like I'm committing essay on camera. That's really not the reason. I was banned off of pretty much every single social media site. It has nothing to do with that. I think that's a bigger issue than trying to equate it to, like, I told you so or Fresh and Fit. That's too simple of a video. But I understand it does well for your audience.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I did it for the views. And anything else? There's nothing else to talk about. If you think I'm doing this because it's for views, then we have nothing to talk about. What can I offer in this conversation?
If it's not for views, why do you think you're doing it?
But you're already convinced of why I'm doing it. You're so sure that I'm doing it for the views. This is, again, what I spoke about the video. You are incapable of taking accountability. In your own final message, you're like, oh, KSI is hating. Oh, look at him gloating. And basically what he said in the clip is, I told him he's moving mad. And that's your idea. No. That's your idea of someone hating on you or making fun of you.
That clip was edited improperly. I didn't edit the video. He went on Twitter and he replied, who? When Keemstar said that Sneako was banned on YouTube, he said, who? ? Which I think, is making fun of a situation where I got banned because he clearly knows who I am. We went back and forth. And so he's just trying to gloat and he's trying to make it about clout.
Okay, so let me ask you. So this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity right now. What do you think that you did wrong to contribute to your situation?
Of getting banned off of every social media platform?
Yes.
Tell the truth.
Okay. All right. Then this is my case in point. That's why I made the video. You were unable to see the ways in which you contribute to your own outcomes, and you just think you're just telling the truth.
You are unable to see why I got the strikes. You didn't talk about that. You didn't talk about the first strike was COVID misinformation. The second strike was election misinformation. Yeah. And the third one was cyberbullying for a clip that was not even what you played in the video. It had nothing to do with that.
Listen, once you made that clip on that girl, you know what happens? She talks to her manager. Her manager goes to YouTube, and YouTube finds a way to go after you without making her implicated. The reason why they didn't cite that clip is they didn't want your fans to go after her so you can quote her. YouTube has good ways of working. They won't actually claim what it is exactly for. They understand you've broken the rules, and then they work backwards. You don't understand that once you made that video, YouTube was looking at you all kinds of crazy. Now, you don't need to believe that. You can believe it's something else. You can believe it's what's telling the truth. I'm just wondering, when are you going to come into this conversation and take accountability for why you are where you are?
You said yourself it was when I was being played in the Senate. It's much bigger than just one feminist getting mad at me.
Okay. So why haven't I been banned? Why hasn't Destiny been banned? Why hasn't anybody else on the is it because we're all bots?
Well, you play the middle ground. You don't really try to talk about stuff that's going to make people uncomfortable.
Okay.
You don't talk about the issues that you don't question the powers that be, and you don't talk about the uncomfortable truths that are really happening.
Okay, what about Destiny?
Wait, hold on. I gotta ask. Hold on.
What about Destiny?
Wait, hold on. To be clear, my advice to you is not the same, okay, as Abba, who's a bot, okay? My only advice typically is that, and I think I'll repeat the same thing I said all the time, is, and I take this my own advice, is only fight with one person at a time. I think I've even told you that on stream. I think off stream before. As long as you fight with one person at a time, usually okay. But when you start dipping into like 2 or 3 or 4 different communities, shit gets like really. Because like it's kind of Abba basically just resaid what I said before, or we're saying the same thing, that like when you do one really bad thing and people start to like, you catch their eye, people start to look for everything to axe you off of anything, and you'll start getting like, it's happening right now with a bunch of lefty YouTubers, actually me and Vosh, where people are just going through and like spam reporting every single video in our VODs because they don't like whatever shit. That's always like the thing to be careful of. But like, hold on, when you say like, I have to stand up for myself, okay, for a second. When you say, like, don't speak truth to power or don't, like, make people uncomfortable, you understand that when you're talking about me, that's a really silly thing to say, right?
You make people uncomfortable, but not the powers that be. Because it wasn't just YouTube. I was wiped off of every single social media platform except for Instagram. There's a reason that happened. There's a microscope on me.
Okay, well, hold on. I don't want to, like, make this a dick-waving competition, but, like, I've been banned off TikTok. I've been banned off Twitter. I've been banned off Twitch. Like, how many social media platforms have you been banned off of?
All of them except for Instagram.
Only been banned off 3.
Have you? Oh, did you up? Oh, speaking of Twitch, actually, real quick.
Wait, I got banned on Twitch for 2 days.
What was your ban for on Twitch?
Ban evasion.
Did you ever appeal that?
Yeah.
What did they say when you appealed?
They haven't replied, and it's been like 2 weeks.
That's weird.
Ban evasion for an account you never had before?
Yeah, because if you didn't have an account,
I never streamed on Twitch. No, so it's very clear that they don't want me. I'm talking about shit that they don't want to hear.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure somebody played that clip of you doing that to that girl, and they said, we don't want you doing that about Pokemon or anybody else, and they said, this guy gotta go.
I think it's bigger than that clip. I think that's simplifying it for the audience that you have. I think it's much bigger. I think you're overlooking the COVID and the election misinformation part, which the first 2 strikes I got that happened even before that clip happened.
Well, I mean, listen, I can't speak to those 2 strikes. I will say that anytime I heard you speak about COVID or when you were... Hold on. Let me finish. When I've heard you speak about COVID stuff or election stuff, you didn't know what you were talking about 95% of the time. I think there's a giant difference between someone's talking about edgy research or things that are counter to the popular narrative, and then what you were doing was just rambling about shit you didn't know about. Yeah, you sounded like a loony conspiracy theorist half the time you spoke about these. And if somebody else won't tell you, I will. So I'm not surprised they nailed you for that. There's sympathetic cases in which I think people make sensible cases against the COVID narrative, but you're not one of them. You were never one of them. You schizo about it.
This information is being posted all the time online. You can make an Earth is Flat documentary. You can make all these conspiracy theories, but why are only certain conspiracy theorists labeled as harmful, and why are only certain conspiracy theorists taken off and removed? If you think I sound like a lunatic, But why is it that mine is the one that gets removed and other people, it's fine?
No, people who spread nonsense conspiracies get removed off YouTube every day. They just don't get to be as big as you. They didn't come in on the platform on some other shit where they were doing 1 minute podcasts that were like very kosher, and then once they had a big platform, all of a sudden they start talking loony conspiracies. But I can assure you, YouTube removes every single day a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists who talk just as bad as you, if not much worse.
What did I say that was nonsense?